All right, so today we're going to write point slope from form equations from a point and a slope and or also a graph, right? So make sure you don't have phones in your hand. Make sure you don't got headphones in your ear. All right, so check it out. You see these up here? These two are in the grade book with your first quiz. These two are going in soon. If you turned in missing work, I'll get to it. I promise. But make sure you turn in those two, 10:15 and 10:17. You have a quiz on Friday, not today, next Friday. So make sure your name is on the warm-up for when we turn it in. But let's read this. It says, an above-ground pool originally had 100 gallons of water. The pool was leaking 5 gallons per hour over X hours. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Well, we'll get there. An above-ground pool originally has 100 gallons. So is that the M or the B? Is 100 changing or no? So is 100 changing? That's the question. What do y'all think? Is 100 changing? Is it describing a change or no for 100? No. It says that's the original. Original, where it begins. You don't need a Chromebook right now. Original is where it begins. That's the letter B. Okay? So again, if it happens one time, original, starting, that's the B. Now, how do I know 5 is the M? Hey. How do I know 5 is the M? It says gallons per hour. So since we see a changing word, we know that's slope, right? Slope is changing. Y-intercept is not changing. We got M, we got B. But there's one tricky trick. What's happening to the water? It's going up or down in the pool? Well, is water going in or going out? What's the key word here? Leaking. What does leaking mean? Yeah, you are subtracting water. So that means that number has to be negative. This is a -5. So my M is -5. My B is 100, right? You don't need to be on a Chromebook. No Chromebook. So Y equals -5x plus 100. Did you write 5x plus 100? Because if you did, you're close. Look for negative words. Think about, is it going up, going down, or what? Make sure your name's on it and pass it to the front, please. Because we're going to do some notes now. Pass these out. All right, let's do these notes. Sorry. I'm going to get them. I'm going to get them right now. I'm going to get them. 1 second, please. 100 seconds, please. Okay, get those warm-ups. Okay. Ready for some notes? All right, today we're talking about point slope. Point slope is the name of the game. And it's when you have a point and a slope. You don't need Chromebooks, so make sure those are like closed because we're looking up here. After this will be short and sweet. Now look, it says when given a graph of a linear function, we can pick any point on the line, and then we can find its slope. So if you got a point and you figure out the slope, you're going to use the point slope form or formula or equation. Now look, I want you to box this. This is the important information of the day. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Okay, so look, x1 and y1, those are part of the point that you have, and then m is the slope that you find. Okay, so you got to use that formula today. Cool. So let's look at these steps. Step 1, when I have a graph, there are you see those 2 points on there? You want to pick a point. Now, I always pick the one on the left, okay? So might as well keep going with that, okay? So I'm going to pick this one. What is that point? -1, 4. Now, that's my point. That's my x1 and my y1. x1, y1. Cool. Now, step 2 says find the slope. Last week, we definitely talked about finding slope in a graph, right? Y'all remember that slope means rise over run? It's the change in y over the change in x. So here's a very important step to remember because I see people goof it up all the time. Which point do I start on? The left or the right? The left. Write this down. Start on the left. Start on the left. When you have 2 points, which one is further to the left? Start there. And remember, you're going to count the rise up or down, and then the run to the right. So let me zoom in here. So which one's on the left? Right here, right? Does it rise up or down? Up 2, so that means +2. And then it runs 1, 2, 3 to the right. So I got 2, I got 3. So is it 2 over 3 or 3 over 2? 2 over 3. It's rise over run. 2 over 3. So now that we have the rise over run, that's my m value. Okay? So I got x1 and y1 up here. I found the rise over run. That's my m, my slope. And I want you to look at how they do this here. Follow my cursor, okay? Here's the point slope formula. x1 and y1 are here. So when it says y minus y1, well, y1 is +4. So that's why y1 is +4. And then at m, we said m was 2 over 3. So right here is going to be 2 over 3. And then minus x1, x1 is -1. So you're going to have that minus, and then you're going to have -1. And then hopefully we know this. What does minus negative mean? Plus. Minus a negative number is like adding. It's like a plus sign, okay? It's the opposite of negative, it's positive. All right, that's how you do it. Now, for today, we're just going to leave it in that form, that point slope form. In the future, we're going to be able to solve for y. Technically, you should already know how to do it, but we're going to go over that soon, okay? Is everyone still looking over here? Let's look at example 1. Ready? Now, whenever you do this, you want those grid points. Some people call them pretty points, but not me. They're grid points, okay? So I don't see any grid points. I need to put them on there. So let's find a grid point. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Oh, here we go. So look, here's a grid point. Put a point there. And then here's a grid point on the grid. Go ahead and make those nice dots there. Okay. Now, I need to pick a point. Technically, either point will work, but I'm going to pick the one on the left. Okay. That point is on the axis at 3. So is that 0, 3 or 3, 0? What do y'all think? 0, 3. So let's write that down as our point. 0, 3. X1 and Y1 is what I'm going to put here. Okay. 0, 3 is my point, and then my slope. Please remember, slope is rise over run. And do I start on the left or the right? Left. So this point right here is my left point. Does it rise up or down to get to the other point? Not if you're starting on the left. So if you're starting right here, it goes down 2, right? Because rise is up and down. So it goes down 2. So that's -2. Does everyone know negative is down? Yes, 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 yes. And then it goes to the right one. So the rise over the run is -2 over 1. Now, if you look above me, you might remember, if it's over 1, that means it's just a whole number. So -2 over 1 is -2. Cool. Now, that's my M. I have X1 and Y1. So I'm going to plug all that into this formula. Now, I'm going to have an intermediate step here in the middle. So let's go ahead and write this out. Y stays Y minus, what's Y1? 3 equals M is -2, parentheses, a regular X stays X, minus, and then what's X1? 0, okay? If you left it like that, it would be okay, but you need to reduce it, okay? You never see X minus 1 like that, okay? That's not normal. So the minus 0, sorry, I should say, X minus 0, you're never going to see that. So the minus 0 goes away, the parentheses go away. So here's our final product. Y minus 3 equals -2, and it's just X. You don't got to write the -0, just X. All right, make sure you got that down. We're going to flip it over to example 2. So make sure you got this down for example 1, please. Two more examples, then we'll let y'all work. All right. Everybody good? Everybody good? Okay, so on the back, on example 2, you have 2 points. Which point are we going to pick for the point? So you could pick either point, but I always pick the one on the left. So we're good on the front. On the back, example 2, I'm going to pick this point right here. If you pick the other one, technically, it's fine. But this point right here is 2 to the left, 1 down. That's -2, 1. Okay? Now, do we start on the left or the right? Start on the left. So here's my left point. Rise, is it up or down? Up 2. And then it runs 1, 2, 3. It's 2 over 3. Now remember, if you get a fraction, I like for you to type it into Desmos and see if it reduces. But I'm going to tell you, 2 over 3 is reduced. It's fine. Okay? It is. I mean, you can always check, but I'm telling you. So look, again, X1, Y1, M. So let's go ahead and plug it into this formula. Point, slope, formula. Here we go. Y minus, what's Y1? -1. So here's where people mess up. They want to just put Y minus 1. But you're subtracting the number, which is -1. do you see how there's always a minus, and then sometimes there's a negative number? There's both, okay? M is 2 over 3. X minus x1 is negative 2. All right. So again, when you see a minus, a negative, what does that mean? It's like plus, right? It's like a double negative. If I said I did not get you brownies, then we don't got no brownies. But if I said I did not get you brownies, that's great. That means I did get you brownies. Did I give y'all brownies yet? I didn't? I gave all the other classes brownies and not y'all. Okay. Hold on. Feel bad. Are y'all ready for some brownie?
I know what you do. I do.
Oh, brownies?
I'll take one to go.
You want brownies? Y'all weren't ready for brownies?
I'll take one to go.
You weren't ready for brownies? All right. I cooked up that joke for y'all.
I've seen that joke a million times.
Oh, well, anyways. You gotta love when you get your teacher to give you some brownies. And it's really good when you're ready for those brownies. All right, well, anyways, back on track. How color do I use? Yeah, there we go. Equation. So when I see minus a negative, this is a plus sign. It's like a double negative. Like Mr. G not giving me brownies. I'm going to rewrite it. Instead of a minus negative, I'm changing it into a plus sign. Minus a negative means the opposite of negative, which means positive, which means plus sign. Cool? One more example and we'll be done here. Anyone still need example 2? Go once. Go once twice. On example 3, you see how those points are further away? You could technically pick a closer point on example 3. So let me show you. Like, you could pick this point and this point if you really wanted to. I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm just going to pick the 2 points that are on there just for funsies, okay? What if I have this point here and this point here? I need to pick a point, so I like to pick the one on the left. This one is 3 to the left, 4 down. That's -3, -4. Now the slope goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it runs 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise over run is 8 over 4. Now that you could put into Desmos, but I'm telling you, you should know what 8 divided by 4 is, hopefully. What's 8 divided by 4? 2 is correct. 2 over 1, but 2 is how we want to write it. So I got x1, y1, and m. So let's go ahead and write it in. Y minus -4 is y plus 4 equals m, which is 2, x minus -3, so it's a plus 3. And that's it for the notes. So I'm going to pass out the assignment. I'm going to let y'all practice this with the info and with a graph. Here we go.